word spirituality comes from the Latin word spiritus, which means breath, courage, vigor, the soul, life. What words come to your mind when you hear the word spirituality? What feelings are evoked within you at the mention of this word? How can spirituality be defined and described? And what importance does it have for health professionals? This video program will look at spirituality, how it is expressed and nurtured, and the implications for health professionals. Spirituality is a well-recognized phenomenon in all cultures. In recent years, there has been increasing attention devoted to spirituality within the healthcare literature. What is evident is that there is a variety of meanings attached to the word spirituality. As Carson and Stoll maintain, spirituality can be an elusive word to define, and we struggle to define it. It is difficult to encapsulate in words.
Well, spirituality, for me, is, I guess, it's something hard to explain. Really difficult to explain what it really means to you. But the nature of art, for instance, is about spirituality. Art itself deals with an area that is almost impossible to explain exactly what it is.
For me, spirituality is a presence of, I'd have to say, a God-like presence, but maybe not always. Sometimes it's the presence of someone else who is affecting my life in a positive way, kind of networking. But spirituality is something that gives me a feeling of constancy. And I don't think about it often, but I am aware of it most of the time.
For me, spirituality is inner life. It's being in tune to what's going on within you, knowing how that affects others, and being in harmony with family, with the world around you, and with your conscience.
Spirituality, I think, is an awareness of how we are connected to a greater being or a greater purpose, I think, within the universe. It causes me to question our very existence of what we're here, of why we're here, what our purpose is.
Well, spirituality is something that I think most people have their own definition of, and you often hear people say, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I guess it means a connection with other things than the world, maybe as we see it, you know, the physical world. And also a connection of people's, well, you could call it spirits if you want to, or just people in general, that seems to exist. And even after someone dies, you can still feel that connection with them.
Being a Muslim, I identify spirituality closely with religion. A lot of what I do as spiritual acts actually stem from religion. Your spirituality means to me being connected to a higher being, being connected to, to a superpower that actually gives me personally a day-to-day energy to maintain or to keep doing what I'm doing.
6 different people, 6 views of what spirituality means to them. Nature, art, presence, a feeling of constancy, transcendence, harmony, religion, and a connection to self, others, and a higher power. These are all themes that you will find if you peruse the healthcare literature on the concept of spirituality. And they are the themes that you will encounter in the words of clients with whom you work. One way to describe the concept of spirituality in terms of its connection to health is to think of it as part of holistic care, a central concept in healthcare today. Using the analogy of a mobile, there is a physical component, an emotional component, a social component, and a spiritual component to personhood. When all of these components are in balance, it contributes to a sense of well-being within the person. But when illness or some other significant life event occurs, the balance can get thrown off, and the person seeks to restore a sense of wholeness again. In a sense, spirituality is not just a component of personhood, but it is the central artery, as one nurse author describes it. That is, spirituality is essential to keeping the balance. It restores balance so that a person can be physically unwell and yet be healthy. Narayanasamy, a nurse educator in Great Britain, captures the essence of spirituality well when he says, "I see it as my being, my inner person. It is I who am unique and alive. It is expressed through my body, my thinking, my feelings, my judgment, and my creativity. My spirituality motivates me to choose meaningful relationships and pursuits. We desire for personal quests for meaning and purpose in life, a sense of harmonious relationship or interconnectedness with self and others, nature, an ultimate other, and other factors which are necessary for our integrity." A common expression of spirituality is by way of a commitment to and the practice of a particular world religion. Reflection on the commonalities and differences between spirituality and religion is important for health professionals, as there can be significant implications for client care. For example, if the healthcare professional only equates spirituality with religion, then he or she is operating from a narrowly defined view of spirituality that neglects broader aspects, such as transcendence and relationships. Spirituality is common to all people, the integrating aspect of the self. Religion, however, can be seen as being under the umbrella of spirituality, namely a particular expression of spirituality that has to do with specific beliefs and practices that are usually shared in common with others of that same religious community. From the client's perspective, his or her spirituality and religion can be so intricately connected that they are one and the same, an important point for healthcare professionals to remember.
Prayer is definitely the number one action that I actually do to help me with my overall well-being. It's important because I get connectedness through prayer with the higher power that actually, which is my sustainer, that helps me conduct daily activities, helps me do what I do, and at time of problem, at time of affliction, I resort to that, to prayer as an action. I also get spiritual through the reading of the Holy Book, the Muslim Holy Book. Muslims actually worship in a mosque or in a masjid, and there, like many other religions, actually, there is a time where everybody gathers for prayer. And that's when you actually meet new people in the community. You meet your friends, you meet sometimes family. So